You're on.
Okay. The devil knows how to use your personal feelings against what you believe, and he's really good at it as far as holding to your convictions go. And what I'm talking about is he will use those personal feelings, people hurting you, people dogging you, putting you down, that type of thing. The Bible tells us about the parable of the tares, how that or the parable of, well, and also the parable of the sower is probably the best one, how that when the seed was sown and it began to grow, then the thorns came up and choked it out. And the Lord told us that those thorns and those briars, that's the enemy coming up and bringing offenses against you that will choke the Christian life or the spiritual life out of you. One of the things I was dreaming about last night is that if there is no Spirit of God in you, and this is what the devil's coming out against. See, I was witnessing someone here a while back, and I was telling him that how God works in our lives in this fashion, and I said that honey, turn that off for me, please. And anyway, I saw this godly spirit come back into him, and it was one of the greatest miracles you could ever witness, ever. Literal life come back, and a man becoming compassionate to those things of God again. This was a miracle that I was able to witness this because excuse me, because you have to put all your personal beliefs behind you. Put all of that stuff about being hurt and realize that you have to make yourself vulnerable to the hurts of the world. You have to be willing to be raised up among thorns. And thorns hurt. You know, you fall into a bush of thorns, but you see what happens. Thorns hurt. This is the Bible's instructions on this. Matthew 18:15 says, if your brother or sister sins, go and point out their fault, just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over. Okay, and the King James says it like this. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou shalt gain thyself a brother. So this is not just talking about pointing out somebody else's sin, as the NIV suggests, but this is about the trespass that you have felt in your heart that someone has committed against you. And because somebody hurts you, you shouldn't go out and take it before the assembly just like this. A lot of people will. That's politics in religion, man, and that, you know, that's the thing that should not be. It's not that we should not deal with politics, and we should not deal openly in religion. That's not it. It's that those two should never mix, in the fact that you shouldn't have politics in what we believe in God. But we do need to have what we believe in God into politics. You know, we need that. We need that very much. There's a huge difference in one and the other. Our laws were fitted that we might control the greed of man in our politics through our religious beliefs. That's why our Constitution is based on the Ten Commandments that the Lord laid down in the Christian Bible. Okay? And it says over here, Philippians 2 and 4 says, the paraphrase of this is, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others, in the King James Bible, or the Bible. It's the only one I consider as the Bible, truthfully. It says, look not every man on his own things. Isn't that a good isn't that a good saying? Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Consider the hurt in somebody else's eyes, as well as the one in your own. You're not the only person living on earth, and God's way of life is not just about you only. It is about you, and it's about me, but it's not about you only, it's not about me only. It's about us relating to one another. Man, the whole book of Psalms is about that. Is about how King David relates to other people, and how King David relates to other people as far as God is concerned. Man, go read Psalms 51. My goodness. You know, that was about King David when he had killed Uriah the Hittite, and taken his wife. Psalm 51 was about that, and how David related to God in that. And that's how we should look at others. You know, it's not just about what our politics is. You know, it's not. You know, I saw a thing on Facebook yesterday about how Dr. Martin Luther King had tried to bring people back together in the 60s, and I remember that, man. You know, in the 60s there was a lot of good men that were shot for the cause of what they believed in. You know, it was almost getting popular to die. You know, there was John Kennedy, and there was Bobby Kennedy, and Martin Luther King. And those three men, they died for what they believed in, a good cause. And these the liberals of today, you know, they would consider him to be a liberal. Back then, a Democrat, Dr. Martin Luther King. But today, the liberals are about the opposite thing of what Dr. Martin Luther King was about. The liberals today are bringing prejudice. I've never seen a president separate us today as much as what our president, so-called president, has done. He's separated the blacks from the whites. He's brought in a religion, an Islamic religion, that is not about peace, it's about violence. And, you know, the devil is good at blaming the thing on the other person. He'll bring in a violent religion and he'd say, your religion is the one that's violent because you don't accept this one. No, 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 no. That's not the way it is, folks. When something violent is brought in, the Bible says the violent take it by force. Let me look that up and read it to you. The violent take it by force. Okay. Okay, if you go over to the book of Matthew 11:12, it says, and I'm just going to go read it in the King James. I won't mess with the paraphrase Bibles. It says, from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffer violence, and the violence take it by force. The violent take it by force. That's Matthew 11:12. And see, this is the Christian Bible. It offers, but it doesn't force anyone to take or believe their religion if they don't want. You know, go in my YouTube and look at all the. I have thousands of conversations that I have taken with atheists where I told them they can choose this life. This is the choice the Bible gives. They can choose this life, or they can choose the next. But the Bible, as a Christian, we sacrifice this life and choose the next. But as a sinner, you sacrifice the next life and choose this one. And so obviously I live in a trailer, and I'm not choosing this life, you know. And I choose to sacrifice a lot in this life and help others, and not take them all myself, riches in this life. But that's what Christianity is about. And is our religion freedom enough to cause a Muslim to let him be a Muslim here in this country? And my answer to that would be, is it a peaceful religion? Because if it's not a peaceful religion, then it's not religion. It's a terrorist activity. You have to understand the twisting of the words of the devil. You can call anything religion. People starting to call Star Wars a religion, but that's not a religion, you know. Anyway, alrighty. But these are the things the devil uses to take your mind away from God and away from those things that can cause you to grow deeply spiritual in Him. Put off from you the things of the world. Put off from you the things of the world and grow constantly in God. Alright, God bless. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time, Crossing the Middle Ministry.